What is up guys, Alex here, otherwise known as Clash with Style. Welcome back to another video where we are going to be taking a look at some of the most recent action in the WCL Elite Division League. So you can see on the screen we have double barrel against RRC Hessians, and I did live stream this war, twitch.tv/Clash with Style. If you want to go and drop me a follow, I try and do league wars, I do a little bit of farming, I do some challenges, I just have some fun on stream. We've been doing really well recently, so if you want to come through, I stream on Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday. But without further ado, let's roll this intro and go and check out some of this sweet action from this WCL war. So you can see the score did end up 35 to double barrel against 34 from RRC Hessians. This was an incredibly close war, and live on stream we had plenty of 3-star attacks, some of which I am going to be recapping today. We're going to be taking a look at 2 from RRC and 3 from double barrel. Now both of these clans very well known in the Clash community, so make sure you show them some love. Let me know in the comments who you were supporting if you were in that stream, and if you're going to be watching any of the stuff in the future. But why are we taking so long? Let's jump in and check out some of the action. So the first one we are going to be taking a look comes in from Bird Wilson of RRC, and you can see that they are going in with pretty much a hog miner hybrid attack strategy, and they are going to be starting with their king down in this bottom section of the base. We have a baby dragon doing a little bit of funneling up there in the top section, and then we have our queen charge coming in from this left hand side of the base. Luckily our king is actually able to deal with that royal champion. She steps out of the walls and he can take her down. We see a blimp coming in on some of these defenses at the top section of the base, actually getting some massive value out of that, so it was really well played by Bird Wilson. You can see completely tearing that whole section of the base apart, nearly taking down that enemy king. We could have done with just sniping him off, but the queen will take him down in one shot and then wrap back around into this town hall compartment. We do have ice golems in there, but Bird Wilson deciding to freeze up that town hall as it is doing some serious work in on those healers, and we definitely want to make sure we keep our healers alive to allow this queen to continue pushing through the base and getting as much value as possible. So you can see miners going to be coming in first from this bottom section of the base, followed in by those hog riders. Plenty of hog riders actually getting caught by spring traps really early on, and a few actually getting caught by the tornado trap. Nice early warden's ability means that these miners and hogs can push through some of these biggest defenses on the bottom section. We do still have that eagle artillery to deal with, and we could do with getting it down sooner rather than later. The queen steps up onto that single target inferno. Will she be able to take it down? Yes, so she takes it down just before it burns out her ability. So she still has that in hand if she needs it, and we've got healers getting picked off left, right and centre from those seeking air mines, so the chances are she may need this ability on the back end. But Bird has a huge amount of hogs and miners continuing to press through the back end of this base. The royal champion also in the mix, doing a great job sniping off defense after defense. It looks like we have quite a huge group of miners off to this right hand side to just start cleaning up some of these outside buildings. But you can see a very overwhelming 3-star here to kick off this video. Really strong coming in from Bird Wilson of RRC, and this was their first triple in this war, so this was sort of kicked it off for RRC. Unfortunately they were just 1 star short of beating double barrel, but it was a very nice attack nonetheless. Without any further ado, let's go and take a look at one of their other triples from this war. And the next one we are going to be taking a look comes in here. I'm going to call this guy Grubstein, but it's GB Rustine, but I'm just going to call him Grubstein because it's a little bit easier for me. So apologies if you are this guy and I'm calling you Grubstein. But we're coming in here with another hog miner hybrid. So RRC clearly loving their hog miner hybrids, proving to be very effective for them. And I mean, do what you're comfortable with. If you're comfortable 3-starring bases using this strategy, by all means just use it. But I can tell you this war certainly was not one for constant same strategies. We saw Yetis, but not that many. We saw hog miner hybrids, but not that many. we saw some Lalo hits, we saw a really good effort at a drag back. There was all kinds of stuff in this war, and I just want to shout out both these clans. Honestly, they put on a real good show. We had a huge amount of viewers in the stream, one of the best streams I've had in a long time, and I really just want to thank these guys for putting in the effort and stopping by my stream. So thank you for that, but let's keep on with this commentary. So you can see our queen going to be pushing in from this bottom right hand section of the base. We had to freeze up that enemy queen because it was doing a lot of damage onto our queen. Unfortunately, this elixir storage is going to make the queen pop back out, but luckily for us, she does hop back in. But we do have quite a lot of buildings over to this right hand section, and does that mean that the queen is not going to go in and get that town hall? We'll need to see here. She's going to take down that bomb tower. Luckily, those skeletons might suck her in. The king lurking about there as well. The queen does go in. We need to get that rage spell down. That air sweeper really causing us a few issues on our queen charge here. A couple of miners going to be starting over on this right hand side. The king doing a great job funneling everything up in this top section of the base, and it means that these hogs and miners are just going to go straight into the base, and we have no worries about where they are going to funnel into. Queen does get that town hall down, which is perfect for us. We now have all these eagle shots raining down from the opposite side of the map. We see a blimp coming in from this bottom section of the base. It luckily just sneaks its way into that compartment, which is perfect for us. It means that we should be able to take down that scatter shot, as well as hopefully that single target inferno if possible. The scatter shot does go down. We are unable to get down that single target inferno. Those clan castle troops did cause us a few issues, as we didn't have a poison spell for them, or if we did, I completely missed it. Grubstein is doing pretty well here. The royal champion starting to snipe building after building. 2 single target infernos left up though. The queen's ability having to be used while she is caught up by that tornado trap, so really not getting too much value from that queen ability. But the MVP of this one, of course, is the royal champion. Still got her ability left up, sniping off defense after defense. All defenses goes down. Her ability just pretty much swag, taking out a couple of junk buildings on the outside, and a really strong effort there coming in from Grubstein from RRC Hessians. So that does it for the RRC guys. We're going to take a look now at 3 attacks from the double barrel side, which is the side that I was on, the side that I was doing my stream from, but I've no bias. Both sides were equally as strong. Double barrel just pipped them though by 1 star. So it is time to go and take a look at some of their sexy 3-star attacks. And the next one we are going to be taking a look at comes in here from Obsi. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, from Double Barrel, going in against Bird Wilson, who actually in the first attack of this video did pull in the victory against him. So it's a little bit of a rivalry here, both picking up 3-star attacks against the other player, so those at the bottom can show they are still able to pull in those triples. So very nicely done from both guys here, but we are going to get to watching Obsi's attack. Going to be going in with a Hog Miner hybrid. We seem to be seeing this a little bit more. I think the Yetis are still kicking about a lot, but the Hogminer hybrid definitely has its place in the current meta. The queen going to be going in from this bottom section of the base, and is going to be stuck on a couple of these outer buildings for a little while. It looks like she might actually wander around a little bit here, so we really need to make sure that enough buildings have been funneled so that the queen goes where we need her to, because we need to make sure that we get that town hall out the way. And obviously, I don't know if you noticed at the start, I actually used a couple of troops to draw out that clan castle, so the queen took it out before that town hall activated, because we definitely wouldn't want those ice golems freezing her up as that town hall is shooting down on her. Rage spell goes down. We opt to freeze up that air sweeper to avoid popping that queen's ability. And just note here that none of the heroes are maxed coming in from Obsi, so it is going to be a little bit more of a challenge for them. We see the hogs and the miners all going to be swinging in from this left hand side here. The king and a siege barracks with all those pekkas and wizards are going to be pushing up to the top section of the base. Hog riders now going to be coming out of that siege barracks to join in with the rest of our troops and continuing to push through this base. We see another heal spell going down there to try and keep as many troops alive as possible. Unfortunately, a couple of spring traps ended quite a lot of our hog riders' journey on this attack. What am I saying? Let's just keep going. Eagle artillery finally goes down there. That enemy king is doing some serious work We need our Royal Champion here to try and get down a few more defences. We do have her ability in hand, which is fantastic. Somehow our King's up on the top of the base, still going strong, finally goes down there, and it's our Queen really that is the MVP of this one. She has cleared out all of the bottom section of this base. She took down the enemy Queen for us as well, so it meant that we didn't have too much really on the back end here to worry about. We get another loon coming in at the top, and that is going to clear out that Tesla, and it means we only have a couple of buildings here, and they are going to go down to that Queen. The enemy King actually still standing in the middle of the base there, but it's no problem at all for Obsi, and they are able to pick up the first of double barrels, triples in this war. So without further ado, let's go and take a look now at, I believe, a Yeti bowler smash. And the next one we are going to be taking a look comes in here from Jammin, which is such a great name, by the way. Every time I look at it, I'm just like Bob Marley. Jammin', you know what? Anyway, so you see our warden coming in over here from this right hand side of the base. We also get a baby dragon in to start trying to clear out some of these buildings, but unfortunately maybe a little bit of a waste of 10 troop space there. The baby dragon not getting at all much value, only able to take down one building. These air skellies really going to hold up our warden for quite a long time here. He's going to be stuck shooting them down one by one. Going to continue pressing into this base. We see a Tesla pop up there, going to hold him up for even longer, and Jammin is looking to try and sort out a big enough funnel that when we get our Yetis in, they are going to go straight in towards that town hall. We see the Eagle artillery activating right there. The King actually pulled out the Clan Castle troops, so we are going to have them to deal with as well. We are going to earthquake pretty much on that Eagle artillery there, going to give us access into a huge amount of these outer buildings over here on this left hand side of the base, opening up 1, 2, 3, 4 different compartments there, so getting really good value from that earthquake. The jump spell giving us access into the rest of this base. Unfortunately, looks like our Queen and some bowlers over there on the bottom section actually got held up by those Clan Castle ice golems for quite a significant amount of time. We are seeing, strangely enough, Yetis and a Valkyrie coming out of that siege barracks, so I don't know if that was a mistake. I don't know if that was meant to be hog riders, because it's rare that we see a siege barracks bringing in those troops. Most of the time that would be a blimp bringing in double Yeti and Valkyries, but nonetheless the Yetis and the Yetimites are actually going to be able to get a good bit of value up on the top section of this base. We are going to be raging up the Queen and the Warden there. We just are able to take down that multi-target Inferno, and we hardly have any troops really left up at this point. We have a couple of healers going to be swinging over onto our Royal Champion as well as that Grand Warden. The Royal Champion's ability did a lot of work for us here. The Royal Champion really needing to do as much as possible. A preemptive poison spell goes down on that Royal Champion just in case we see any skeletons pop up, but the Warden is going to be able to get this one done. It was definitely a race against the clock for Jammin. I was watching this one live on stream, again twitch.tv/clash with style if you want to check me out. But yeah, I think there was maybe about 2-3 seconds left in this, and it was insanely close. The chat was going crazy. It was like, is it going to be a time fail? Are we going to get it? But you can see the Warden is going to take down that bomb tower right there. We have quite a few cleanup wizards and archers over here on the left hand side. The Grand Warden doing some work. Luckily this elixir collector over here on the right hand side was already on low health, so we get that down nice and quickly, and the laboratory is going to go down there, and it does allow Jammin to pick up another 4 double barrel. So this, if that hadn't gone in, if it had just been slightly the other side of the clock, 1 or 2 seconds later, we could have ended up with a much closer war and probably a draw, and it would have gone on percentage. So Jammin getting a little bit lucky there with time, but still a very nice attack nonetheless. And of course, we are going to finish off this video with a beautiful Queen Charge Lalo. I had to do it, I had to provide the goods. Let's go and take a look. So we see Hersky, probably butchering that name, so apologies, but coming in here with, like I said, a Queen Charge Lalo. And first things first, watch the value that Hersky is able to get from this blimp. It is mind-boggling. So obviously, just deciding where they're going to go in from, the clock actually ticks over there. So we're a couple of seconds into this attack before we get going. We then get a freeze going down on that air sweeper. We need to make sure that the blimp is able to get in. Yetis come out of that blimp. A tornado trap does catch him, and at this point I was going, no, not a tornado trap. We also probably, I was expecting to see a poison spell going down on those Clan Castle troops, but no. The blimp with the rage going down on it for the Yetis coming out, it's able to tear. Look at the value. That whole compartment, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 buildings, and they were important buildings as well. That blimp took down all of them, so Husky got some huge value from that blimp. And we now see our queen coming in from the top section of the base, of course getting the poison spell down on those troops to make sure that the witch doesn't cause us too many issues. A couple of loons going to be coming in from the top section as well, going to help take down a couple of those defenses and make sure that the queen goes the way we want her to. King is also going to be coming in here from that left hand side of the base, knocking away, taking out a couple of those outer buildings again, just to make sure that the queen funnels into the base, because what we are really looking for here is to take down that eagle artillery whilst keeping an eye on the clock, because as everyone knows, Lalos can a lot of the time fail, so it is always a race against the clock. We are picking up percentage left, right and center. That brings us up to 40%, and we still haven't got our Lalo portion in, but we are going to start it just about now over here on this left hand side of the base. The eagle is getting notoriously close to activating there. We do start our Lalo portion right there. The queen does get on that eagle, but not before it gets off 3 shots. So our loons or our lava hound are going to have to take a couple of shots in the face, which are going to rain down. Sorry, what? Where did those eagle shots rain down? Did they go on the healers? I completely missed. Oh yeah, they must have gone down on the healers. I was like, they went up, but they never came down. But yeah, they shot on the queen and the healers a little bit. But luckily, not all 3 shots went on the healers, so they didn't take too much damage. We are onto the town hall now. Perfect Warren's ability just lasts long enough to get them through that bomb. But of course, we do still have that freeze ability from the town hall to deal with. And that scatter shot just about one-shots all of those balloons pushing in. And at this point, I knew it was probably going to be very close to a triple, or it was going to be a time fail. Queen doing some serious work on the top section of the base here, and at this point I was screaming. I was like, use the queen's ability, use it, pop it, because I was like, you might as well use it, get some more value. But Husky decided, nah, we don't need the queen's ability, we're just going to let everything else do the job. Plenty of loons coming over from this right hand side, Warden doing a little bit, that Grand Warden helping out as well. We see the Royal Champion just on a slither of health. Queen's ability used at the last second, and Husky picks up a very nice 3-star there to finish off this video. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this fantastic war between Double Barrel and RRC Hessians. Like I said, and I will keep repeating myself, if you want to see some of these League Wars live, WCL, NDL, MLCW, anything like that, I try and do as much League stuff on my Twitch as I can. I will also be doing a lot more League recaps on the YouTube. I'm getting in contact with a few media reps, trying to get stuff organised. So expect to see a lot more League recaps and stuff on the channel very, very soon. So subscribe if you haven't already. Let me know in the comments, like I said at the start, who were you supporting? Which attack was your favourite? For me, of course, it's that Lalo that we just watched from Husky. Very, very nice indeed. Leave a like on the video too. Can we aim for, let's go for 13 likes. Bit random, but let's aim for it. I'll see you guys in the next video, whenever that may be. Peace.